goes without saying that this cyber infrastructure today is an online infrastructure. We're outside of the day and age where everything is behind the firewall. We're really in the age of how can we make everything accessible, whether that's going to cloud or allowing partners in or allowing consumers in. So the necessity to have everything online is what today's environment has become. And the need to secure that is, magnitudes of vulnerability protection and intrusion detection and configurations of firewalls and application security and whitelisting and blacklisting. A lot of things that we talked about during today and a lot of our speakers talked about during today's events. And it's not any one thing, it's not any silver bullet. We've got a portfolio of items within McAfee that helps to protect the infrastructure, even going down to the database, which is really where most of the security jewels are kept. But it's more than just that. It's that whole architecture of how you put it together, how you integrate it with information that we provide in the cloud to help give you real-time protection in any state, and going all the way from chip to satellite in that architecture, whether it's a mobile phone, a server that's on the extranet, or that database that's somewhere in the cloud. The two biggest trends that we're seeing are how do you protect cloud environments? Since you don't own that infrastructure, how do you put your security policies, your security guidelines, your security architecture in those places to ensure that your data is housed effectively from a security mechanism? And the second is mobility. I think without a doubt, you heard it today, everybody's talking about BYOD, bring your own device. It's cost effective, whether you're a corporation or whether you're the government. But how do you securely enable that device? So from the biggest perspective where we see it, it's definitely mobility. It changes the spectrum when you bring in your own device into the office place. And how do you protect that? How do you separate work information, work data, secure data, from personal data? How do you separate what you're doing on an application at the office from the Angry Birds application that your child put on your iPad or your iPhone? So what we see is really three components to the mobilization, the security mobilization. One is the traditional ability to be able to scan for any viruses that may exist on the device. Two, to be able to container simple applications or email or things like that, so you can securely communicate with your office applications, your organizational applications, and separating them from your home type of functionality, your consumer type of functionality. And third, and probably most importantly, is the ability to manage that device. So if you look at mobility today and the products that are available, many of these do one or two of those things, but it's not like the laptop of 10 years ago when you can. And even then, putting another agent on that device was, you were bogging down that system. You can't afford to do that with an iPhone or an iPad or a Droid. So having one singular piece of security that can enable those three pieces of functionality is hugely important. Obviously, cloud is the largest initiative that we probably see today. We've seen enterprises in the commercial sector leverage cloud providers, whether it's as simplistic as something like Salesforce.com or something that has some more complexities, such as Amazon's capability or Terramark with Verizon or Google. That ability to get a better return on investment and outsource some of the, if not at least the more simplistic applications, even if it's email, but outsource those applications to get better scalability, better security of data, and better usability. I think without a doubt, you probably heard it here, is the ability for security to be an actual part of that device. We've talked about this in the security industry for years. The reality is IT infrastructure came to be. After that, security came to be. And security was overlaid on top of that IT infrastructure, whether it was the desktop, the server, or the network. You put a firewall in behind the router and in front of that switch. You put an IPS then behind that firewall. Later you put a host-based IPS, an antivirus agent, on your servers and desktops. You start using VPNs, you start using other host-based capabilities. The reality is this needs to be integrated into the infrastructure. We've passed the time when it wasn't feasible for one system or one device to have many mechanisms of security. We've definitely gotten past that. Now we have to look at it as, when I enable a device, when I purchase a device, what types of security capabilities does it have today? And if you look at McAfee and our relationship with Intel, that's at the heart of it. Our ability to develop security solutions and protect our customers when they get that device the first day. So our integration at the chip, our ability to look at things below the operating system. And that's in effect where attackers and hackers are going today. They've learned that every piece of security that's on your laptop or desktop or mobile device is layered on top of your operating system. If they can get under that, if they can get to the BIOS, the trusted memory, they've got you. But if you're integrated into the chip, you're at a lower place in the stack than them, and you have the ability to stop that malicious activity.